Hey guys, this is Dan with Gears and Gadgets. Thanks for tuning in, back with another video a day until this channel hits 100K. This video is actually a bit unplanned. Came up as I browsed the internet, as one does when they're in those moments of thinking like, hey, if I won the lottery, what might I buy?
I was searching around the internet.
Oh my gosh.
I was cruising around the Polaris website as I've had this RZR Pro S on loaner for actually a bit over a month now. I've got it for a few more weeks. So I started looking at pricing. This RZR Pro S starts at around $26,999, $27,000. Not super cheap, but I actually think what you get out of these machines worth every penny. I have had the opportunity to just absolutely thrash these things through the desert, not only here in Phoenix, but I was also able to go out on the Polaris factory racing team announcement. And on that press event, I had a chance to do one of the coolest things I've ever had a chance to do, which was ride with Cayden from their race team. And it was just absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, to see what these machines can do is crazy.
Brother.
Yeah?
How do you not fear catching a tire going sideways like that?
You gotta stay in it.
I've known for a while, as I was actually out in the dunes with Polaris recently, that they have this 2025 Polaris RZR Pro R Race Replica Edition. And this Replica Edition is pretty gnarly. It's basically a Pro R with a lot of the livery and some of the enhanced componentry that you might get on the race version of the RZR. But as I was cruising around the internet yesterday, I stumbled across the 2025 RZR Pro R Factory. This RZR Pro R Factory is a $140,000 RZR. Let that sink in for a minute. A lot of you guys are gonna say, like everybody, who is spending $140,000 on a RZR? And as I started looking at this, the answer is this guy. Well, I'm not spending, let's say, I guess if this video gets what, 250,000 likes, I'll go out and buy a RZR Pro R Factory. I would love to own one of these machines. And do I think it's worth the money? You better believe it, because this is essentially the same RZR that I was out just bombing around in Johnson Valley. The fact that you can buy this thing is mind-blowing. Now, this is something I find to be very interesting with not only Polaris offering this RZR Pro R Factory side-by-side, but Indian Motorcycles also announced that they were selling the Indian Challenger RR, which was essentially the exact same bike that Indian is racing around with the King of Baggers series for $93,000. And of course, Harley-Davidson just announced recently the 2025 CVO Road Glide RR, which is, I guess, more of like a road version of the race bike. It's not exactly the spec'd out race motorcycle, but this bike was selling for $110,000. So actually for a more street worthy bike than what Indian had, but it costs more money at $110,000. But the idea that you can actually, as a consumer, buy the race version, not just a badge, which if you look at the RZR Pro Race Replica Edition, that's basically just a race badged with some niceties to make it look a little bit more like the RZR Factory machine. This is legitimately the factory machine. So just running over some of the specs of this thing, it's super gnarly. 225 to 255 horsepower, depending on which way you go with the spec. And it just has all of the race suspension. You've got brake biasing. It has, I mean, I don't know, 35-inch tires. The fact is, when you look in the cockpit of this thing, this is the exact same model that I was out in the desert when they announced their race team. And that's just really wild. So the idea that you can actually buy this machine and pretty much go and run a Baja race is just absolutely mind-blowing. So I just find this to be really rad that we live in a time when these kinds of machines are available for consumer purchase. I don't know what the process is to go about buying one of these. They do say that if you're interested, inquire with a distributor which goes through SCI Motorsports. Looks like it's only able to be ordered through July 31st of 2025. So this video needs to get 250,000 likes by July 31st. Otherwise, it's going to be too late. Honestly, I don't even know how I would float something like that. I'm going to get a couple more videos on this RZR Pro S. This is obviously the more economical way to go and probably the right way to go when it comes to a RZR purchase. But that's a pretty big jump to go from a Pro XP at $24,000 to a Pro S to $27,000, the RZR Pro R at $35,000, and then basically to add $100,000 on top of that for the actual factory race RZR that they have is just absolutely mind-blowing. So let me know in the comments down below, which RZR do you guys think is the best, or do you think the RZR is the best? I'm really getting into this whole side-by-side thing, and the more miles that I've put down, the more seat time that I've had in these machines, I've really come to just absolutely think that they are worth every single penny that they charge for them. I mean, honestly, the fact that you can take these things and just blast it through the desert, pretty much not even caring about any of the bumps that you're hitting along the way, it just blows my mind that these machines are as capable as what they are. Now, when I was out at the dunes and racing around with the Polaris guys, we did get a chance to walk through the boneyard where I saw RZRs that were just blown to pieces by people who were doing things they weren't supposed to be doing with them. But even the ones that were obliterated, you could tell were just thrashed so hard that most people weren't having those kinds of issues. So in my opinion, aside from having to carry like an extra spare belt on these things, they seem to be, I don't want to say bulletproof because they are getting just absolutely hammered on, but my experience is that they've been so confidence inspiring. And I actually had a chance 2 weeks ago to take my stepfather. It's kind of like a interesting my two dads sort of life that I've lived, which that's a whole nother conversation in and of itself. But I wish I would have actually recorded a better video with, as we affectionately refer to him as Romo. But I did get a chance to take him out in this RZR Pro S and not only take him out into the desert and have him experience it as a passenger, but I also had a chance to have him sign the waiver and get a chance to drive the machine also. And that was just really cool. I mean, that's really what these RZRs are all about, is family time, getting out in the desert, and just having an absolute blast. And that's something that I really appreciated when I was out in the dunes, just seeing the number of families that were out there with campers, spending an entire weekend just enjoying each other's company, enjoying the companies of other families, and just spending a lot of time with each other. And that's something I'm really starting to really appreciate when it comes to this platform. So I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Is it crazy that they're selling a RZR factory race machine? I think it's pretty awesome. So with that said, thank you guys very much for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, please hit that subscribe button down below. Remember, likes go a long way to help support the channel. I will see you guys tomorrow.